Hey guys, Engineer Wannabe here. Today we're going to be reviewing this guy, the SPB045J1. This is an enamel dialed Seiko, and I believe this was one of the last great value Seikos to come out. Of course, as time goes on, all this will change, but this was a really good value. And we can talk about that in a little bit. But before we get started, let's do a wristwatch check. I am wearing my newly acquired SPB045. This is also known as the Steel Master. I sold the SPB183, the Blue Willard, and I got a hold of this guy. I think this was the sweet spot for all the divers that were released last year from Seiko, and I did go into that a little bit in the last live stream that I did before this video. But yeah, that's a bit of a tangent. So this watch is a very well finished watch, and I really enjoyed the casework and the case finishing on this piece. And of course the dial is very special as well. But let's rattle through the dimensions real quick. The dimensions, or the diameter of this watch, is 40.5 millimeters. The thickness is 13 millimeters. The lug to lug is 47.5 millimeters. The lug width is 20 millimeters, and it weighs 95 grams on the supplied crocodile strap with its deployant. So 95 grams, not too heavy, but kind of heavy for a dress watch. But the case is actually really well done. You'll notice that the tops of the lugs are brushed, and at the lugs, where the lugs meet the case, there's a very beautiful polished portion. High polished, beautiful hairline. It's something that's really special, and I am really impressed with that. So you have this really intricate detail on this case, and you have a beautifully smooth brushing, and of course the sides of the watch are of high polish, and the high polish is of excellent quality as well. Now, the star of the show, as usual with most Seikos, is the dial, and the dial here is kind of busy. It has Roman numerals, and it also has a power reserve at 9 o'clock, and at 6 o'clock it has a pointer date. So a really busy dial. And of course the hands are leaf shaped, and I don't believe they're thermally blued. I believe they're chemically blued or painted blue. It has a different kind of sheen to it than what you would notice from a thermally blued steel hand. So I don't believe that is the case here. The dial itself is an enamel dial, and you can tell that it's an enamel because of all the ridges and the little imperfections on the dial. And that really gives it this artisanal feeling, like a master craftsman has really put some effort into this dial. And of course it could be a better quality, but you're not going to find anything of this caliber or this insane craftsmanship at this price point, and that's something really special. So the movement on this watch is a 6R27. Now, there's not a lot of information about the 6R27 or the 6R20 series. From what I gather, I believe it is a more intricate movement than the 6R15s and the 6R35s, so it's a bit more special. And anecdotally, I found that the 6R20 series watches that I've had have been a bit more accurate, a bit more a bit less of positional variance, a bit of a less delta in that regard, and they've also just felt a bit more special, and they are, because they are running at a 28.8 vibrations per hour beat rate, so at 8 ticks per second, and that is not normal for a lot of Seikos. Most Seikos tick at 6 ticks per second, or 3 hertz, and this is beating away at 4 hertz. So really a bit more of a special movement than 6R27. And from what I've read in a few posts, I am not a watchmaker, but from what I've read, it is slightly more resistant to shock as well, and it's just an overall more refined movement. And anecdotally, I can attest to that. I've had quite a few 6R27, specifically 6R27 watches. I think I've had around 4 or 5, because I am really drawn to this dial layout. I really enjoy this dial layout. And this was actually one of the first pieces that I bought. This was the first higher end Seiko that I bought because of the enamel dial. And funny story was that I believed that this would be my exit piece back in 2018 when I did purchase it. But of course that didn't work out that way. And I did sell it on because I bought the SJE073, and I found that I really missed this. I purchased it again in 2019, and the one I purchased was a used model, or used watch, secondhand, and it was not treated very well, and it was a bit more banged up, and so I did sell that on as well. And I finally decided to purchase this again because of all the memories I had with this watch the first time around. So since you get this handcrafted dial, I think that is worth quite a bit. That may not be worth it to you, but to me, the fact that a master artisan crafted this dial by hand and baked it in an oven himself, I think is really special. So since this watch came out, we've had the Orita porcelain dials, we've had other enamel dials, all of which have been climbing up in value, and this was the last, in my opinion, this was the last good valued artisanal Seiko. So we didn't talk about the strap. The strap that this watch comes with is a beautiful crocodile strap, and it is of excellent quality. It's incredibly soft and very pliable, very nice to wear, and it comes in a deployant clasp, which I don't mind, although at some times I find that the deployant clasp does rub against my skin in a irritating way. And so I did modify the strap to be able to go on a pin buckle. Now the pin buckle does show that the strap is a bit too long for a pin buckle, but it is manageable, and only just manageable, I think, on my smaller wrist. But if you have a bigger wrist, you're gonna find that you enjoy this strap. Anyway, guys, this has been a quick owner's review of the Seiko SPB045J1. I suppose I could have done a long-term review since I have had this on and off for over 2 years now, but I will do one of those when I've actually had this watch for about 6 months, maybe longer. So I'll do a long-term review on this guy. Stay tuned for more reviews. I hope you all are doing well. Remember that time is short and that you are special, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.